afternoon, good evening, good morning. Welcome. My name is Nori, and I'm coming to you live from the Digital Engineering server. This is Modded Minecraft, and we are playing on the Digital Engineering SMP mod pack. And this is our mess. So, welcome. It is Friday. We can do a little bit of cruising around, but it's still going to take us a little bit to get to people. Really got to work on those transportation capabilities a little bit better, but we can, because we have been, all of us, schmoozing around and visiting with each other. I can tell you that way out here, so this is Kara's place. You can see it on the map here. Like, she is, yes, it's a big square. I don't think she's planning on leaving it as a big square. But I imagine there's been a lot of work over there. Zinga and Astria's castle is over here. So they took over. So they've been doing a lot of interior decorating work so far this season. So eventually we'll get over there to have a look-see. Undeniable Cake has been hard at work over here. Last time he was on, I think he was mucking around with some more of his create farms. We'll have to go check that out. Katoa and company have been on, but they've been doing some more meandering about. I think Katoa's been really working hard on his dimensional tech stuff. So he's been off in other dimensions. So I don't think that they've done too much building. I haven't seen too much from Haiku. So I don't think she's done a whole lot of work on her. Oh, please tell me I did not do that. I did do that. I've really got to... that took. All right, we'll see if that catches on. If not, I will once again have to change the title of my stream after I'm done streaming. It's just become a thing with me. We have had a lot of use. So interesting. If you're in the mood for doing Primal Magics and you need sky stuff, I found getting a good source of sky attuned blocks is a really difficult thing. Really difficult. So what I have found is that we can actually get away with it by taking some bamboo. And don't make the bamboo bundle if you're playing along with us. You want to make you don't want the green bamboo, you want the yellow bamboo bundle. They're the same thing, except for this bamboo bundle has 33 points of sky attunement. So it's good for a whole shard. The other bamboo bundle isn't worth that. So I have been making these and feeding those upstairs in our Primal Workshop to make sky attuned shards and whatnot. Works out really well. So there you go. Hot tip. You kind of just missed us making our brand new purple wand. We are, I think, probably going to do that. We're away from that. So I think we're going to do a little bit of this because we need to get to expert, because I think we need the, I know we need this arcanometer, which is basically, if you've ever done Thaumcraft, it's kind of reminds me of the old handheld scanner, the ring that you could just slide across everything and figure out what the attunements are. That's kind of what that is. We really kind of need that, because what I want to get to is a flying carpet. And in order to get to a flying carpet, I have to scan a flying creature. And you can't just put a flying creature on the analysis table. They just won't sit still for it. So we are going to have to make the arcanometer. And I just don't know that I really want to get too involved in that tonight, since we have such a short time in order to take in everything that is going on, and the stuff that we've been working on and doing. Recall storage. So this week has been super productive. Super productive. So we're going to fly out here. We're going to take a quick gander. So try not to, if you're looking on the mini map, I know you can already see the end up there, but we are, we have built ourselves all the way up. And in fact, we are working on over here. This guy is ready to be, so I need to bring the walls up 3 more blocks and then put a roof on this. And so that's one of those occultism chambers done. There's the other one, and then we'll have another one probably hanging out somewhere over here in this area, maybe a little higher up. Oops, I might use the broomstick. Oh, so somewhere in probably this neck of the woods ish. We'll put the other one. But now we have it. Yes, we do. We have all the way up to above cloud level. And so we have our ritual of air. So this is already laid out and ready to go. So all we need to do is come up here and we can throw some purified ventium down and grab our ingredients and make ourselves some motes of air. So we are moving along with how I was envisioning this tower to come out. We kind of needed this spot all the way up here in order to do our moats. Yes, we put our giant in the ceiling. I couldn't resist. So you can see that if you go up top, if you're flying around, or if you look on the map, you'll see it on the map. There's our big giant letter N. Because why not? And so after this bit, the next is we're going to get a whole lot of nether brick, and probably red nether brick, and maybe some kind of a black block of some sorts. I may do some glass. That may not be a bad idea to do some of this black stained glass. And then we can just underneath the surface put in some like lava-esque blood. But basically we're going to put a big dragon that wraps around this tower. That the head should be, I think in that, yeah, should be out this direction somewhere. And so then we'll have the body just loop around the tower a couple, 2-3 times in and around the occultism spires that we have on the outer sides and all the way down to the ground floor. I think that's going to look really good. super excited about getting to that. As you can see, we got some nice, quaint, constructed floors. So those worked out nicely. So now we just got to figure out what to feed into the space and what to do with it. I think one of these I will probably turn into an actual Hexaria workshop. I'm hoping before the end of the season they will have administered some of the features that they're sitting on. Got those rolled into the mod pack so that we can do some of the stuff with like right now pretty much everything works out of the cauldron, but they have a crystal ball as one item. I think there's something else. I'm drawing a blank on it right now. So I'm thinking we'll have one of these floors. We will convert into a whole Hexaria workshop. Yeah, that's one of the things that we've been fighting with as of recently. There's a lot of lag spikes on the server. I'm hoping it settles in. So yeah, here's as we travel down our tower. So we have the floors all nice and lined out. Like I said, I just got to pick out something to go on the floor and then put it in. So like right here, this is pretty much the this is the workshop area. So these guys are, we've got this is where we moved our mining gin up to. So he's making all the ores. Bar here is picking it up. Ram is taking the stuff that can be ground and giving it to Zed, and Zed is doing his thing. Shale's been having the worst time. But yeah, so here's one of the Occultism Towers, about midway up the tower now. So we've already got one of the circles in place, and then there's room for this one there, room for one there, and then the last one would be up here. We'll have some walls, roof. Maybe we'll put some signs in here just to dictate, so we know which of the rituals are in the room. So that way, when you're looking at it, trying to figure out, well, which I need this ritual. So that's, you just walk in the room and see a sign hanging on the wall. This is this ritual. And that would make life easier, I think. As we continue down, this is like a big looking glass area. So it's nice for an easy view around the area. Well, I think one of these windows will probably be covered up with portions of our dragon as it comes down. I don't know just yet, but most likely it will be. She came back. So this is our Eldrin altar setup. So I've got a fire, and I found an end. I think I need to go set up another fire well, so it means another trip back into the nether and finding another wellspring to do down there and building another one. And then I'm going to need a couple others. So on our list, our penultimate list, go and look in Man and Artifice. There is our tier 5 armored set. So since we are of the Infernal class, these are the guys that we're looking to make. And so these will require doing it on the altar here that we have. And then, as you can see, each one requires a fire is our primary. And then we'll need a secondary of some sort. So in this case, ender. So I could make the helm if I had all the pieces for it. But it's not just a helm. There's the chest piece. So the chest piece requires a double well setup. We just don't have it right now. We would need the infernal greaves, which needs an earth. So we got to go find an earth well. And then the shoes, I think, are wind. Yeah. So we need to do a wind, earth, and one more fire. And I think that's it. I think that covers everything we need. And then we can start working on getting all the stuff together and doing our rituals for our tier 5 gear. This is, again, still the rune craft altar. I'm going to come through here and put actual runes on the floor so that as you walk the room, they will do different things. The buff runes. I need to get my setup up and running. And then, we're back down to our, hey, this is the ritual to summon our faction guys so we can tier up. That's our primal area. So, kind of just gone through the tour of the tower, as it were. Our first slabs of occultism. So these are 4 circles that are ready to go. Just need to label them. That'll go a long way there. Wow. That thing really does help grow. Grow quick. So we made a growing standing stone from doing a ritual here in our Roots Classic area. That was fun. We actually had like everything to make the thing with, so it was nice not to have to go hunting around for it. We did, since we got our air remote set up, we did finally get our elevator, at least one of them. I gotta go make a few more. I'm thinking that instead of this being a front door here, that we'll seal this doorway off, and that we'll use this slipstream generator, and then another one up here somewhere that will take us into like into the dragon's mouth, as it were, and let that be our entrance in. But this is fun. All you have to do is look up or down. You can choose your descent speed. The steeper your up look, the faster you go. Not interested in you, buddy. Ow. Okay. Obviously, I still have room for things to spawn over here. That's kind of the point. All of this is just to let's clean up a little bit. Let's take a quick nap. Bear with me just 1 second, people. Oh, mister. Um, are you not hearing me? Okay. So this mod pack, it's an SMP server. We're we're a collection of people. We had originally last season, we can call it last season, anyways. We were originally were doing about Hexaria 3, which was supposed to be a magic and tech based mod. And what was really good and really fun, we enjoyed ourselves for like almost a year that we played on it. The magic really never felt flushed, as it were. So it felt more like a tech mod than it was magic orientated. So being that it as it was, I think we kind of knee jerked our reaction to the whole thing, and so we built our own mod pack. So we built our own mod pack with this, which is like heavily slanted in the almost the polar opposite from what Valhelsia was. So really hard magic for almost everything, and then there is tech, but the tech is like towards the very end. It's gatekeep behind, having to have some really you really want to have your farms in place. So this is a lot more structured around magic. In this particular instance, yeah, well, it's proven rather interesting. So we've been enjoying some mana and artifice, and then we've mana and artifice is probably a heavily influenced one that I've been using an awful lot. So this is what makes up this spell book here and this spell book. And we'll do this. We'll hop over here into the mining dimension because this is where I do a lot of my magic work, so as to not destroy our building area. So what's really fun with mana and artifice is we can do things like, let's see, there we go. You wanna dig it. Looks like somebody's been futzing around over here already. If you wanted to dig a tunnel, there is the you can always go. Where is my little portable storage out? So yeah, you can grab your. That's fortune. There's my self touch. You can grab your pickaxe and do this one at a time. Then that's fine. That's one way of doing it. With mana and artifice, once you get up there, you can do more interesting things like, okay, I don't want to do one at a time. Let's just bulldoze. So, and no, you don't lose it. It all goes right into your bags. So you don't have to worry about, like, if you really wanted the material, you can come down here and just mine it out. So this requires a little bit more finesse than like your standard technical mods. The other bits too is that you can come in here once you get to a point where you're high magic enough that you've used the spell enough times, you can actually customize these spells, so you can build them on demand. So you don't have to just deal with the initial spells that you make. You can make better spells as you want to, as you need to suit whatever needs at the moment you have. All right, Katya. I will take a look at your area and see what I can do to figure out what you did. It's all right. But so yeah, this is our stab at it, and so we've been. Okay. Yep. I figured as much. I saw you log in and log back out again, so I figured something's going on over there. So let's see. I think get over to, so we have a neighbor, which is rather interesting because last season I didn't really have a neighbor. People didn't want to. We were on a much bigger map last season, so people kind of went to far reaches. Oh, we were thousands of blocks away from each other. And while we are 8,000 block away, we're not nearly as far away as we were last season. So, like, here's one of our young aspiring members. They built themselves a little glass shack. But one of our regulars, I don't know. He's one of the other guys that is probably close enough for me to get to. There he is. Yeah, he's not that far away. Otherwise, we'd be. Unfortunately, this thing flies really slow. But, you know, it's a witch's broom. What are you going to do? That's why tomorrow morning we are going to get heavy into our Primal Magics, and we are going to get our Flying Carpet, which is supposed to be potentially faster. We'll see. I'm hoping so. But yeah, so a lot of this mod pack is just based around us doing some really wild things with magic. Like, yeah. So here's Zoda's area, which he's been very busy at. So on the terms of things, if we were going to compare this via Man and Artifice, he's actually not part of my faction. So he would be somebody I should be warring with. But so he apparently ripped his house. So that was down there. It was in the ground. It looks like he's ripped it up into the air. I wonder what kind of magic he's been muttering with over here. So this is Zoda's little area. And anybody that watched us from season 1 knows that Zoda was one of the guys who helped build the Wellness and Success Center. He had Sandcastle and a couple other number of different things. So looks like he's been working in here pretty well. Not going to poke around too much without him around. And then, if I'm not mistaken, the next closest guy to us is going to be over here. And so this is Katoa and Company. So Katoa's new, well, not new this season, but he has been playing a lot more this season. So he was here during our first season, but I think he put up a small base and that was about it. I'm trying to remember what all. Yeah, I don't think he did too much the first season, but it's all fine. Now, if you're deciding to pick up and download to play the mod pack, I will forewarn you that there are a lot of places like that, which are part of when dungeons arise, and so they're very dangerous. And you can get hurt in them. So just be careful. We also have mine colonies, which I should be. Yeah, there is a little. Here's Haiku's place. It's still a very much so a work in progress. Looks like she's just getting started good on it. And then over inside of all of this wooded area, which, by the way, this did not exist initially. I think they got a little crazy with their trees. But this would be Katoa and Company's place. That's their little workshop. And Katoa has also been doing Mana and Artifice as well. I think he's in the same faction with Zoda. You can see he's got a little bit more of the he started working with what's little bit of tech we actually have in this. And so some of the tech that actually comes in this one is around RF tools. We have RF dimensions in here, so people can create custom dimensions to go do what they want with it. We have RF storage. There is refined storage for storage, but there's also. Hey, welcome back. Yeah. So we have Hexaria in here. So Hexaria is a magic-based mod around witchcraft and witches. So there are whole covens in that will spawn up that have brooms that you can ride around on, and they're not the fastest thing in the world, but they work. They tend to take a little while to get places, but you know, if you're not really in a big rush, it's all good. I think my spot should be that end right there. So yeah, so basically, yeah, so we have a little bit of tech. Refined storage is in here, though honestly, if you get into occultism, you can do occultism has a refined storage-esque like device, which is not limited. So like this is occultism's refined storage version, and so this is actually all being kept back at my tower, and I can access this from anywhere in any dimension, which is really nice. Definitely a lot more friendlier than refined storage in that guard. Oh, for crying out loud, go shoot somebody else. Rude. These salesmen are so pushy. So pushy. So, mister, what do you like when you play modded Minecraft? What do you find is interesting? Just chilling? Oh, light. Somebody's been playing around over here throwing spells around. There we go. So this one is done on 118. It's proven to be a little bit more daunting here in 118 to do this. I think if I had my ways about it and I had to redo this mod pack, I would probably do it in the 116.5 variant and not the 118, just because Mana and Artifice is a fairly beefy enough mod pack on its own. And I think between that and the new biome generators that came with 118, and the world heights really have just played havoc with this mod. So we've had to do a lot of really interesting things on the server to try and keep things in a functional way. But you know, so far, cross fingers, everything's been good. We have. I think this mod pack's pretty much equal parts magic to equal parts exploration. So there's several heavy like dungeon crawling mobs that are in here, and we remapped the so there's no like traditional strongholds. So if you're looking to explore for a stronghold, you're not going to find those in here. Those were removed because we dropped in the End Remastered, which then requires the 12 specialized eyes of Ender to get to the end. And then they generate that one. I wanted this one. So they end up generating these castles. One of our members has actually taken over one of these end castles. And so these is where you eventually have to journey to and put the 12 specialized eyes to get to the end. but it does mean that you're doing things like you're going to Ocean Monument to get an eyeball. You're going to the Nether. You really kind of have to go different places and explore different areas, and so that worked out rather well. I think if I had to do it again, I would probably drop that one back in a second time, just because it kept some of our members fairly busy for a little while. They tried to go find these various odd specialized eyeballs all over the place. Now, there is a case where underground there is a version of the stronghold that spawns for the end remastered, but that one actually has like real puzzles, like redstone type puzzles in them to do. So those proved to be rather interesting. Find a couple of those. Let's see. But yeah, mostly I've just been kind of holed up here in my tower, just been building it up and doing a little bit of leveling on the magic skills. Trying to figure out what farms and how I want this tower to look. We still have the dragon piece. We're gonna put a red dragon that winds around the tower all the way back down to the ground floor. And I think we're gonna have right over this central portion, probably right where that they call this slipstream generator is sitting at. We'll have a dragon head, and then this works as an elevator. And so we'll put another one actually in the dragon head, and in order to enter the tower, you'll basically ride this one up to the other one, get picked up, and then have to ride inside the dragon's mouth in order to get into the inside. So I think that would be fun. It'll definitely give it a more evil-esque sort of feel. I saw these volcano fields and decided that I was going to go with a little bit of black magic, I think. So, speaking of chilling, what happened to my music? There we go. Horrible, horrible. So, yeah, we just been kind of building and kicking around. You know, just having a right good time with this. But we did like, I don't know, 70, 80 some streams for the Valhelsia Season 1 server. I don't know how many. So we do these streams Friday and Saturday. And I've been using these trying to just kind of like keep track of the goings and comings of the server and track progress. And I've watched, thank you for the follow. I've watched other people build on YouTube and whatnot. And you always see them, they do these like really quick time lapse. And you're like, okay, but really how long are we actually talking, right? How much time did you spend in that time lapse? Because, you know, it's a 30-second time lapse to watch, but was that days? Was that hours? And so I've been trying to stick closer to, okay, we're doing the builds. We try to do, I do a lot of like the really boring, like the wall tower up. I was doing that on and off during the week and a little bit on Saturdays and Fridays. And so we'll get out here and we'll build and stack onto the towers while talking. But it gives a good idea of, you know, how long does it take to do something like this, just to get all the way up to there. It's almost like a good solid month just to do that from bottom to top. So it's not like it's a little effort. It's a lot of effort. And I say a solid month, but you know, we all have lives. We all have to work for a living. So we actually have create, so we could schematic this, copy and paste it and stick it out there. I like the look of it. I think it's going to be really kind of cool when it's done. And like I said, we're gonna have like a little dragon. Put a dragon that wraps around this. So that's going to be really kind of a neat feature. But this is probably the most building that I've done in a good long while. Usually I spend more time doing like redstone contraptions. Um, in the Valhelsia series, I would say majority of my time building and constructing farms, trying to figure out like you should go check some so there's a YouTube. If you did like you type exclamation YouTube, there's a link to the YouTube channel that should get spit back at you. Maybe. No? Okay, it's not gonna get spit at. There it is. Like it should. There it goes. So that's got like all the stuff that we did in Valhelsia. And so there's a section in there where we were building what we called Wellness and Success Center, which literally it was a giant experience generator. So we had it hooked up to a button. You could push the button, experience, I would say about 3 to 5 seconds of some real serious lag, and then go from 0 to level 63, 64, something like that in like 2 seconds. Just rained on your head. But we also had in that same area, we had an enchanting system. We had a recycling center that would take all of the stuff that you found, strip the enchants off, and break the materials down to their core components and ship them back up to you. We had a whole potion brewing system in there, so you could go in and like vending machine, get your potions that you wanted. It was a thing. It was a whole big thing. It was fun. I think we definitely enjoyed ourselves on that one. I don't need any of these spells on this book. There's my stonecutter. So, but yeah, so this I think this is coming to go up like 3 more blocks, and then we'll put a roof stack on it, and then yeah. So these are areas for occultism magic. I'm just trying to make certain that I've touched everything that I put in here for the mod pack, so that anybody who wants to come back and look at it, maybe you just need well, how do you do that sort of thing? And so that's what I've been trying to spend some time learning, and then I try to talk about it, like especially like on Saturdays or whatnot. We really go in depth about anything that we've got going on inside the tower. People go, hey, well, how did you do that? Well, okay, so here's how this works. And so there's these guys are so much fun to watch from upstairs. Where's my stairwell? I've got to do better about. I had to put the railings up for stairwells. These guys are so much fun to watch from upstairs because they look like a bunch of guys standing around talking. So like you got workers, and they're all standing around having coffee breaks and just you're like, what are you guys doing? Nothing. One day, 2 guys are like, it's a boss and middle management on one side, and then the one guy who's doing all the work. Because that's there you go. That's how it works. And so even in demon culture, that's how it works. It's fun. It's fun. It's nothing but it's just fun to talk about. So yeah, and just that's the kind of fun we're having. This kind of mess we're getting into. I think Shalinar has been working on building a giant mushroom. One of our other members, Kara, has been building a giant palace. Zynga and Astria, which are even other members who are currently online right now. They've been doing interior decorating. So everybody's had their little things that they've been doing. We've just been having fun. We keep adding new people, and then we have people show up and join the community, and then they leave the community. But that happens. It's not always something everybody wants to do, but we enjoy everybody who comes out and contributes because it's just cool to see what people do. It's like, hey, look here, you've got a whole laundry list of things that you can do. What do you do? What do you start with? What do you build? What are you inspired by? So we watch and we learn and we cooperate and we talk to each other, and it's just a whole lot of fun. We use Corel is also in here. So we have, I actually prefer this one as, so if you die, this is our tombstoning feature, but this one's kind of nice because it also has it's a magic-based system. If you haven't figured out the theme yet, like I said, we did it Valhelsia, and then I think we went just a little overboard on the magic stuff. Especially since the more into like Primal, which is upstairs. Oh, what did they cast on me now? Slowfall? That's fine. Yep. Slowfall. So, yeah. Primal Magic actually reminds me a lot of the old Thaumcraft. So if you've ever done Thaumcrafting, this is what this kind of reminds me of. It also feels a little bit like Mana and Artifice. So this is kind of like an abridged version between Mana and Artifice meets Thaumcraft, where you have to do research, but you get to build your spells however you want to build them. So you can select your spell type: touch, projectile, bolt, self. Your modifications: amplify, burst, quicken. What it does, so damage, frost damage, so there's your damage spells. Of every type. Then there, of course, there's a break spell. So kind of like when we were bulldozing in the mining dimension, it's almost the same thing here. This spell creates stone in case you needed it. This one creates water. Conjure light sources, that's fairly typical. And there's a healing spell. This one I thought was rather interesting. Conjure animal. You don't get to choose, but you can just spawn a creature. Create lava. Not had too much luck with Drain Soul yet, so I may be doing something wrong. I just don't know what I'm doing. Teleport is basically like throwing an Ender Pearl. And so those are the ones that I've unlocked. So there's this whole grimoire of things that you can learn. So like there's still even more sorcery, which they also have a flight spell, which I'm interested to see what that one looks like too. But yeah, so there's a whole load of spell stuff that you can do that I haven't even started touching. So it's been a slow growth into it, but still, it's still been nice. It's been rather interesting to figure out how to do certain farms without having access to, like my miss my refined storage, because I had that refined storage in Valhelsia set up with all the crafters and everything else, and so it was like tied everywhere extensively through my base, and I could just request a block type and have it made. So it was easy to go to JEI, find the recipe, hey, I want this, and then go plug it in. And if it wasn't already, if all the pieces weren't there, then it was real quick to teach the system how to get the pieces there. We do have easy villagers as part of this mod pack, so this makes like small iron farms for people really easy. It also helps reduce some of the lag on the server. These guys don't tick the same way as having like a regular iron farm. So this has been great for reducing server load. It's also been much easier to deal with villager-wise. So I've got to figure out what to do with some of these extra villagers. Go downstairs, find a little enchanting room. And then a farm plot area. So this is where I've been growing some of my stuff. And this is one of these other ones. I think Shell requested this one. So these have been fun to play around with. So I can put a water source block underneath of it. And these actually water in a 3x3 space around the center of the pipe. And so the pipe can be all the way up there, or you can run it all the way down next to the ground like that. But they do apparently have a range. I.e. that this one, while part of the same line, he's not getting water. He's just too far away from the pump machine. So I could put another pump over here with the water, and then he would water this area. I've been thinking about widening this place out, but I'm a little concerned with these magma blocks here. What's on the other side? So I just haven't done anything with it yet. But we'll probably widen this area out just a little bit more to do a bit bigger farmland down here. So I'm thinking I feel like I need that. We have Cosmos portals for some fast travels, so this would take me over to Shale's place. And then finally, here's the bottom of my ritual room for my Ender Pearl rituals. Boats of Enders, they call them. So that's bottom top where we're at. And come back in 6 months from now, and some of this stuff will probably be ripped out and replaced with something else. And other stuff in here would probably be improved. Because that's really kind of the way this works. Is you start working on it, and then you iterate on it. You go, okay, this works well this way, but it's really not quite there. So you just make changes. And I have been rambling. So I think in lieu of the time, I think we are going to call our stream here. So for those of you who came out, and thank you for joining and the follow, mister. Thank you. And we will catch up with you guys. Yeah. This neat trick behind this armor, right? Where did I put that at? Before I forget. It's in my storage. I walk around without these in, and I forget to put them on. Missing the full effect. Because there you go. The green just works so nicely with that. Gives it a little more demonic look to it. That armor can be made from Roots Classic. I'm trying to remember the name of that one. But we have a long 4-hour or longer session tomorrow morning. So you're welcome to come back and catch up with us in the morning, mister. We'll be here plowing away. We'll get really in depth to that. I had to go see what is going on with Katya and her stuff. So thanks for coming out. And we'll catch you on the next time. Take care now.